Hello everybody, this is I Leviathan. I'm doing another video here of Earth from Another Sun, and essentially I'm going to be covering some tips and tricks to maximize your playthrough, as well as mention on some of the new stuff that's been going on. There is a few updates that I haven't been talking about. They constantly are updating this game. It's in alpha, so stick with me and we'll go over some of that new stuff. So one of the first things that I've noticed in the new update is that after you kill the boss that summons from just your general kill count, mobs no longer spawn, which I think is one of the ways that they've limited people killing the boss and then going around and just spawning everything else, and it curves a little bit of the experience, but I could be wrong on that. Not sure exactly why they did it, but overall the game feels way better since that update came out. It's smooth, the bosses are a little bit more intelligent, the whole gameplay just feels so much fresher. They've added some icons here. I'm pretty sure that purple symbol there is when they get agony. It pops up over their head. So there's been some quality of life things going on that I pretty much enjoy. And it just feels a lot smoother now. I don't know if you can see that it's smoother from my first video to this one, but the feel is just beautiful. Definitely some upgrades there. They've added some killing spree icons at the bottom. They've added a few tips there. It's just all around seems pretty enjoyable. One thing I want to mention is the special monsters, not even just bosses, but the special monsters. You can see it says Whirlpool and Frozen there. And they have some pretty cool abilities, and they seem to be working a lot better since the updates have gone through. I'm not killing right away just so you can see that. So that's Whirlpool. It pulled me in. Frozen freezes you, has some orbs. It slows you down a little bit there. There's the frozen orbs there. Even after he died, they kind of spawned a second there. But overall, it's a pretty good quality of life update with just over time. Every update, some things get better. So it's just a matter of time that this game is going to be as well polished as it needs to be. So we just killed that boss. So when the boss drops, it drops loots on its own, and then it also has a chest that you can open up, and you can pick one thing from the chest. It looks like we got a legendary item here on the right, but it's great. The timer is still going down on the right, so we're not going to be able to finish everything off within this time frame. But they all have different things. Generally, if it's an agony, you get everything that stacks on agony. It's very important. I'm just pausing so I don't run out of too much time. It's very important in here to read all these stats below what's going on, because let's say you don't want any of the three. They're not working towards your archetype. You really want to read them, because here on the legendary one to the right, its damage is plus 8.4%, HP is plus 20.4%. That's amazing. That's really worth keeping. Of the other ones, if you don't want them, Tor max HP is 18% damage, and it has all these extra stats. So really, in that extra slot, if it's nothing you want or nothing you're going to utilize right now, grab the thing with the better substats. Grab the thing with the better stats that work towards your thing. This counts for everything you have in your inventory. So in my inventory right now, it's very empty. But here, you start with a mod. This mod, Despairing Heat, it has max damage, shield, light weapon clip size, bow damage. You can re-roll these later, but really when you're just collecting things and picking things through and making your decisions, those are very important. Because obviously, hitting an enemy with a standard attack triggers weaken. That's pretty cool, but it doesn't stack on anything yet, and we're not really going for weaken. I generally go for agony, but there's some other combos you get that are very, very strong, and maybe weaken is the combo I go through in this playthrough. So you want to look at all those substats and see how important those are. But you also can get traits on your guns too that can show up here. Obviously on higher ranking weapons, you find those more common, but even here on your potion, or not your potion, but your grenade, you have different stats on your grenades, so you can actually find a better grenade with better stats or different items in here, even if you don't use them. Fill up that bar, pick up all those items, even if you know you're not going to use it because it's not the way you play, then focus on those stats. Focus on what's important there, and that will help you get through the game and play better. So obviously here I'm going to be grabbing, I can't, there's stuff in the way. So I'm going to grab Lightning Burst, why not? Potion, pick up. Oh, come on. What's here? Lightning Burst. Okay. One free refine opportunity. Okay, not too bad. So for shabby quality, I don't even think I guess our guns are shabby quality. So it lets us level it up from, just boost it up a little bit here. So that's not too bad. From gray to white, if you can't tell. We had shabby before, and now it's going to be common. We're going to replace all these eventually. You're not going to keep them for long, but I'm going to go ahead and upgrade that. So that's what I did here. Another perk of exploring around is you can find things like here, like this upgrade interface. So this is where you can spend all your resources to the left here, and you can pretty much upgrade things. So this potion, you can upgrade it. So this upgrades the level. So there's two different things. One refines it, which boosts its rarity. The other one boosts its level. So recovers 50% of maximum health. Extra health recovers shield 100%. That's pretty great. So I'm actually going to upgrade that. You always keep a potion, in my opinion. So that's always worth having. And then, because there is a perk that lets you get more and more potions. It is consumable. Generally, when things are consumed, they disappear. There are some stats in the talent trees that make it to where they don't disappear, if I remember correctly. So that's the only thing we can upgrade in here. Obviously, if you click here, it shows you what an upgrade would look like in the resources. So obviously, level 1 to 2 is the cheapest thing. It scales. It scales a lot. But you can see that, okay, maybe I'm not going to use this at all, even though I am. This one's for weaken. Nice. Enemies under weaken effect are continuously infected by destruction. So destruction and weaken combo with this one. I didn't read it all the way through, so that's nice. After 0.5 seconds, more damage. So that's actually really good right now. But it'll boost my damage, boost my overall hit points, and these things stay the same, it seems here, but we can re-roll those at a different station. But that's pretty cool. So exploring after you kill the boss is still very important. You obviously want to use your time, because once your time's up, you start losing hit points. Essentially, a radioactive dust is what they call it, covers the Earth, and or the planet you're on, radioactive dust, and that's going to hurt you. One fun thing about exploring afterwards, it can be beneficial, is so even if we're not going to get more loot and min-max that way, sometimes there's chests that can drop or can spawn in the world, or those upgrade chambers. So it can be important to keep on moving around once you've killed the boss. So this here's a shrine or an altar. They're pretty cool. They have tons of different abilities, and when you press E on it, you activate it. You only have a minute, or the time varies. In the upper right is your cooldown, and it tells you what it does there. And some of them, like this, just gives you more damage. Others increase loot chance, loot drop. The hard part is sometimes it's not safe to just run through the map and try to find them while you're fighting, but if you get a loot one, it really, really makes it beautiful. It drops a lot of upgrades and things like that. Your loot stats get really huge. So it's important to keep an eye out for those altars. Another tip here is if it's a weapon that you don't want that's loot on the ground, you can deconstruct the new item and you get a little bit of points for it, a little bit of crafting material down the road. Obviously, it's better to use it if you can. Free upgrade opportunity, not bad. What do we want to upgrade? So we can upgrade this new pistol we got. And it's something or better. So obviously, if we get like an epic one, we can upgrade a common, uncommon, rare. But generally, you want to use it for the thing that you would benefit the most from it. Potion, extra 50 hit points. Or 50%, that's not bad. Grenade we use. We haven't used energy shock. This definitely bumps up that pistol, which was an upgrade, so I'm going to take it and use it on that. So there's different levels of your weapons that you need to be cognizant of, just so you're aware. So obviously here with this, your shotgun, you have the rarity of your shotgun, which is rare here, and on my pistol, it's just common. So you can go all the way up to legendary, and then I believe mythic, which is kind of like a rainbowish color. It cycles through. You can have the level of it down here as well, from 3 to 4, things like that. But you also have the tier. So this is a pistol 2, and I have a shotgun 3. So ideally, a shotgun 3 at the same rarity and the same level is going to be better than a shotgun 2 at the same rarity and the same level. Granted, you have different core effects. So this shotgun itself has a core effect, where special attacks grant a barrier. So the special attack is your right click, your main attack is your left click. It's also important for a lot of these things. It says, standard attack or special attack. So these can be kind of fun if you use them for different core effects. But as you go through the game, you'll realize you just spent all this time and money making your Shotgun 3 mythic, and it's amazing, and then you see a Shotgun 6, and it's way, way, way better. So really keep in mind, yeah, you want to invest so you can do better in the game, and you can make it further through this roguelike, but at the same time, you want to make sure you have enough to make better weapons better. It's you kind of get the flow of it as you play through, the better way to manage it, but that's just another little tip there. Another note is in the inventory screen here. So on my mods, I haven't maxed them out, which is fine. But on my skills, I have actually got very lucky and found the ultimate grenades, which is one of my favorite skills to use. It does cost 5, but you throw 3 grenades. It kind of spreads out, and it does a lot of damage. But look at all the main stats there. That boosts me up. And as I level this up, that's going to be great as well. And then shotgun damage is something I like. Movement speed, something I like. Chance to ignore damage. I don't melee people that much. Area and explosion damage, it's not going to factor too much into my gameplay, but the concept is, it's really great. But I also have grenades here. Multi-grenades, throws 3 grenades. Same thing, it costs less, but I'm never going to use it because it does less damage as a skill, but I'm not throwing it away yet. It's just going to be a filler because it still gives me more HP, more max shield, and you know, the sub-stats really aren't for me, but it's still something. I'm not going to re-roll the substats for something I will replace with something better on main stats or something I'll use. But it's still something in here to buff my stats in the meantime. And as you play on harder difficulties, that extra couple % of everything is huge in help. So really, really focus on that. I know I keep on talking about it, but that's really what will help you elevate your game tremendously. So overall, what people do for their combos for weapons and everything like that is the SMG. Reason being, the SMG has 332 bullets right now. It goes way up based on the level and different stats you have. And a lot of things trigger based on hitting with your standard attack, and that's its standard attack, just crazy amounts of bullets. So it triggers a lot of your mods. And then the other one is the shotgun. And this shotgun actually has a feature that a lot of people like. I kind of enjoy it too. So it slows down your bullets in the spread, so you can actually, that's your spread of bullets. So it still does just as much damage, but it's a nice spread of it. So with that, people stack a lot of different things. In your inventory here, you can see that it has, fires 15 extra bullets, but it's reduced speed. A lot of people like the Relentless Barrage. I enjoy it myself as well, so I'm very happy I got a shotgun with that. Another one that a lot of people like is this one. I don't really like too much, but people like it. Essentially, the special, which is the right trigger, it can actually push back projectiles that are at you. It's strategic, but agony can be put here, which is a lot better. Not put there, you have to find it there, from the best of my understanding. But a lot of the things that people do, it's based on what you find, but there's 3 main ones that I've seen, and based on what you get, that's what you want. Agony is like the best one right off the bat that I like. Essentially, hitting with a standard attack inflicts destruction. So you can just hit them with destruction every time you touch them. And then after 1.5 seconds, they get an extra 110 damage. Granted, this is level 5, so it does take time to get up there. But pushing this to epic, legendary, and mythic, it really does a lot more damage. But these all stack, so pay attention. And then you have here, lingering agony. So the destruction damage is increased by 110%, and the damage takes an extra 3 seconds to hit, which is fine. And then you have something like this, agony and despair. So this actually stacks 2 different features together. It has enemies under weakened are constantly getting affected by your destruction, and then destruction, after 0.5 seconds, the target receives 400 additional damage. So that stacks with despairing heat. Hitting an enemy with a standard attack, that's the left trigger, SMG, you spam them out. So you hit them, it triggers weaken. Weaken enemies inflict a shockwave. So they do their own weaken, but here, enemies under weaken are continuously affected by destruction. So it stacks, and it does more and more and more. And then, there's other feats that I don't really use. I just have them for their main stats and substats for now until I find something better. I really like Extend Magazine for this situation, because for that, you get extra clip size. This isn't my focus, but if I have something that a free upgrade I found on the ground, I have nothing to upgrade, I'm definitely going to throw it at that. Another tree that people do, and I just haven't had enough that have fallen through to put it together, is Lightning Storm. So I don't have bouncing lightning, this does nothing without bouncing lightning. But bouncing lightning, what it does is essentially when you hit something with a standard attack, because we're all doing standard, so everything hits together at the same time, essentially it bounces that damage to another enemy within a certain range. And that can all get upgraded. And here, what it does is it'll bounce one more time. And as you upgrade this, it can bounce multiple times. And then there's other ones that all work within these as well. So currently, I only have, 10 slots. You can actually find things that give you more mod slots in the game, as well as perks in your talent tree can also give you more, I believe. So essentially, you can get these and stack them up. And here, out of all these, I still only use potion when I need to, and ultimate grenades, which I got lucky with. There's turrets, there's tons of other stuff that I'm going to use, but until then, I'm just keeping everything I can the best for those substats. So that's just another tip. So obviously, there's tons of different weapon combinations. There's tons of different ways to do better. I know some people that they just grab the weapons that are the best DPS. They pick them up and go. They upgrade whatever they can when they can. Some people are more strategic. So just keep all that in mind when you're playing. And you're going to have fun because there's really no wrong way to play. If you want to challenge yourself and only play by doing melee hits, do it. If you want to challenge yourself and not use certain guns or only use certain guns. I mean, in the community, we do have a lot of people talk about these challenges, but whatever makes the game fun for you, play that way. And I think it's going to be great. Awesome. So this is the shop. 11.7, kind of a play on for 7-Eleven. You can easily run through, not do anything, exit, or you can use all the different facilities here. This is to purchase things with your gold coins that you found. You can buy different materials. Most of it's materials, and then you get to different skills and even different mods that you can get. So what I like to do first every time I come into the shop, just to maximize my time in here, just a little tip is look at everything in here that you can buy, see if anything in here is going to want to upgrade, then go to the weapons and look what you can buy here in this weapons, and obviously it's going to glow based on what it is. So this is a better pistol than the pistol I have, or current weapon, sorry, it's a better shotgun than the shotgun I have, so I'll probably want to buy that. But essentially, look at everything first, and this is where you can upgrade your interface. So I can upgrade it from level 1 to level 2. And then over here is the refinery. This is where I would take something common, make it uncommon all the way up and things like that. Generally, if you're, anything you do, you're investing. So it's really hard to know what you want to play, how you want to do it. Here's how to recover. If you're not picking up potions and using potions correctly and you're spending your Starbucks, which is the currency, on healing yourself here, you're going to have a bad time. You really want to maximize your potion use and everything like this. Lottery tickets, you can buy a lottery ticket and you drops it and you can either win nothing or money. It's fun. I've never really been able to utilize it. The odds are pretty much a wash one way or the other. Here is the revamping station. So here I can grab anything here and it's going to re-roll my substats. So if you love it, you love what it does, you love its main stats, but the substats aren't what you want, re-roll it and get some better stuff. So you can min-max everything of your gear here, buy stuff, do upgrades, find what you need to here. So obviously if there's something you want to upgrade here to another level or another tier and you're just out of components, you can come here and I'll show you the different components. As you level up and you have higher level things, these will also carry higher level things with them. So don't worry and freak out that you're not going to be able to get legendary stuff. It'll come when you can afford it and when you'll be ready for it. So here's your talent screen. The first time you play, you won't have any talent points, and that's totally okay. When you finish a run, whether you die and you lose, or you beat the game on your run, you will earn points. And while my screen does look a little complex, they are working on this. They're going to flesh it out more. It's still alpha. Don't forget that. But there's tons of these things that increase your movement speed. You can jump, multi-jump. You have a jetpack. Primary stats increased by 40. Different hit points, things like that, increase shields. So there's a lot of these stats that right off the bat as you're playing and you level up and you utilize this, you're really going to feel all these boosts that you get. This one down here, which I don't have, 4-dimensional pocket consumables now have a cooldown and will not disappear after use. So that way you don't have to worry about picking up potions as much, which I've never really had too much of an issue with it on the lower levels. On the harder levels, you don't want to use it when you can recover in other ways and things like that. But there's a lot of these things. You can look through it, and it's pretty fun. They're going to be expanding on this as well. I mean, this whole game has a lot more to expand on. It's still in its infancy, but there's a lot of promise, and I really enjoy that. So you can take a look here and just see, more SMG damage, little things like that. And there's some stuff that have to do with parties and allies, and that plays more into multiplayer. And then once that campaign comes out, it's going to have more there. So when you're playing, take a look at this in between each time you die or win, and make it a little bit easier for you and upgrade your character a little bit more.